Please listen carefully.
Hey folks, Jerry here. Yesterday found out that Prince died. Um, that's pretty sad. Uh, he's a very, very talented musician, artist, and certainly changed the culture in America and probably around the world with his music and his fashion and his art. His movie. Purple Rain. I grew up in an era when Prince was like it, and I have to admit, I used to love his music too. I loved the movie Purple Rain, um, but it just seemed a little, I don't know, crazy that the news cycle all day long spent so much time on that on him. When I think as an older adult now, I look at Prince and I look at the lives of other people in the world, the people that are one day they have a normal life, the next minute they're a quadriplegic. And they may have been super productive in their life. They may have been doctors, lawyers, teachers, anybody that helps other people, and the next minute they're either dead or they're bound to a wheelchair, or uh, their lives are profoundly changed, and they contribute to society just as much, if not more, than what Prince did. And that's not to take away from the accomplishments that he's made. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2004. He's helped many musicians. He's wrote songs for many people, from Sheila E. to Sheena Easton. The list goes on and on and on. I just found out that Manic Monday was written by Prince. I had no idea about that. I thought that was a Bangles song and they wrote it, but I guess Prince jotted the lyrics down on a plane, on a jet. He was in first class. They were in coach. They went up and met him, and he, jotted down some lyrics for them, and became, the song Manic Monday. So I'm not downplaying his contributions, but let's take a look at this in another aspect. Do you realize that 40 to 50 million babies are aborted every year? 40 to 50 million. In the United States alone, there are 3,000 abortions performed every day. Every day, okay? How many of those babies may have been another Prince, or been another Michael Jackson, or been an Einstein, a Stephen Hawking? How many of those people, those little babies, could have, maybe one of them would have found the cure for cancer? It's horrific. We look at a person like Adolf Hitler because he killed 6 million Jews, and we look at Stalin because he killed like 30 million. I might even have the numbers wrong on Stalin, but millions and millions and millions of people Stalin killed. Pol Pot, Mao Zedong. We look at these people and we say, oh, they're evil. In comparison to all of their atrocities, the world, and America specifically, commits atrocities that all theirs combined look minuscule by the killing of babies. Think about this for a minute. If a man goes out and kills a woman, or if a woman goes out and kills a woman who has a baby in her belly, okay, that person is charged with double homicide. So even the law, even the courts recognize that that woman is carrying life, a child. And the rights of the child are protected in that instance. Yet, we want to say that it's just a blob of tissue and it's not really a baby and all this rigmarole because it's convenient. It's 99% of all abortions are performed out of convenience. They're not performed because it endangers the life of the mother. The mother was raped or there was incest. Those are such a minuscule part of abortions. They don't almost don't even chart. They're less than 1%. Okay? And yet we don't talk about that. The media spends no time on that. If they found a single-celled organism on Mars, they would say there's life on Mars. And yet that those cells inside a woman's body, which are no longer cells once the sperm and egg are joined together, it's now life. Okay? They don't consider that life. They don't consider that Hillary Clinton says that child has no rights in the womb. Well, that's not the case, clearly, because, like I've already stated, a person's charged with double homicide who kills a pregnant mother. Plain and simple. The courts even recognize that, Mrs. Clinton. So we spend all this time on these superstars when they die, instead of and I just bring up abortion. What about I'm sure that yesterday a vet died. I am sure that a teacher died. I am sure that a doctor died, a nurse died, who spend their entire life helping others. Okay? And they don't even get mentioned. They're not even mentioned. Yet Prince, who, by the way, it's questionable on how much Prince actually contributed to society with regards to whether it being a positive or negative contribution. Every one of his songs was filled with sexual innuendo. Watch any of his videos, and it's filled with sexual innuendo. So is that a positive? Some people might say, well, we're opening our minds to, we're being more European, where sex is open and talked about, and we don't have to be shy or embarrassed by it. It's not about being shy or being embarrassed. It's about having a little bit of modesty. We clothe our bodies and go into public because we have some kind of modesty. But even that's starting to dwindle away. Girls wear yoga pants that leave nothing to the imagination. Okay? We just live in a society where it's become so open, we're so open sexually that there's no barriers. I remember as a child, I don't know, 12, 13, 11, 12, 13, getting my hands on a Playboy book was like gold. Man, and if somebody in the neighborhood found one, that was gold. No wonder Playboy has changed their format. They're not apropos anymore. Any kid who has an internet connection can get online and see hardcore porn. Why would I want to look at a Playboy magazine when I could just go to a porn site and look at the real thing? Or Live Girls. What's Playboy going to do? What's that going to do for me? Nothing. Our minds are... all the barriers that tell us that something is wrong are being removed. Okay? The little voice inside your head that says, I shouldn't look at this is wrong. I shouldn't do that, it's wrong, are slowly eroding to where anything goes. It really is what the Satanic Bible says. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Do whatever you want to do. Okay? Which is a complete opposite of what Jesus said. Jesus said in the Garden of Gethsemane, not my will be done, but yours. Speaking to his Father. If this cup could pass from me, let it be. But not my will, let your will be done. He grieved over what he was going to face. The Bible says he was sweating droplets of blood. He was so grieved over the ordeal he was going to go through. And still he said, but not my will, your will be done. And the Bible says that it pleased the Father to chastise his Son, who did nothing wrong. Okay? And yet, we live in a society where it's do what thou wilt. That shall be the whole of the law. It saddens me. I was going to say it amazes me, but nothing amazes me anymore. It just saddens me, and it makes me think, how much further can we go? We have this issue of transgender bathrooms. In the DSM-5, this is considered a mental illness, and yet you have the LGBT community saying that we're being bigots because we don't want to let men use the women's bathroom. I don't know where they get off on saying that, because I've met many gay people in my life, and gay people identify with the sex they were born in, okay? I don't know many gay people that go into the women's bathroom, okay? Whether a gay woman going into a men's bathroom or a gay guy going into a woman's bathroom. They identify with the sex they were born in. They're just attracted to the same sex. And we're not talking about transsexuals here. Transsexuals, they actually, from what I've read, they have the XXYY chromosomes, and so there's some ambiguity, and some have a tendency to feel more woman than man. I get that, and so they have the operation, they go through the whole thing. But transgenderism is something that's fairly new, and it's just exploded over the last few years, where guys want to just dress up like women, and then they want to go into the women's bathroom. Well, that's not acceptable. Go into the men's bathroom, okay? It's simple. Women go into the women's bathroom, men go into the men's bathroom. If your sexual identity is really that messed up that you need to have the surgery, then have the surgery. And then you can go in the women's bathroom. But I don't want some guy going into the bathroom that my daughter's in, or my girlfriend, or my wife, or your girlfriend, or your wife, or your daughter. It opens the door, it opens Pandora's box to allowing criminals, rapists, molesters, child molesters, pedophiles to do unspeakable things, because society has just opened the door and said, no, go on in, you can go in, because you wanted to put a dress on. All right? It's crazy. And yet we'll spend all day, every news outlet, talking about Prince. Again, the guy contributed a lot, especially in the music industry. But he's not a god. He's just a man. And are we shocked? Yeah. Are we saddened? Sure. But let's talk about the teacher that died, that helped untold numbers of kids. Or the nurse who spends every thankless day in a hospital helping people that, for the most part, probably don't even really appreciate the stuff that she has to go through, or he has to go through, that whole day. All right? And let's get away from this, transgender garbage. It seems that ever since Bruce Jenner put on a dress, the whole world's gone mad. I just don't get it. So I'm pray on it. Hope y'all pray on it. And hope this nation can get right again. So with that, God bless. Have a great day.